So hello and welcome to the Deconstructing the Construct Q&A. And the fact that there are so many of you here, I'm wondering whether that means I didn't do a very good job and I left you with too many questions. But thanks for coming. I do appreciate it. And I am a one-woman show, so it's just me and 100 of you at the minute. So bear with me on how we're going to get through these questions. So I'm assuming everyone here's got one. And there's only a couple of ways to go about this.
That one.
Getting through these questions. Now, sometimes when you get this many people on a call like this and you open mics, it can get out of hand. But we'll start that way. If you guys would like to put your hand up and let me know that you've got a question, try and keep them succinct. And we'll see how we go from there. So Andrew, you should be able to unmute. Andrew, you're unmuted. No, I'll come back to you. Okay. Dawn, you should be able to unmute.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, gotcha.
Okay, great. Thank you for all of this. Start with that. So, in part 6 of your Deconstructing the Construct, you talk about the white dragon, and I'm not terribly familiar with it. I'm still learning all of this. So I guess we all are. So one thing I've noticed over the past few months is the centering of truth and authenticity in my own life. And it's always been kind of at the center, but not so much as it is, I would say, over the past few months, to the point where I feel like I can't even tell like a small lie anymore. You know, it's like I'm betraying myself kind of thing.
Yep, you are.
That's been really strong. And so, and I guess it really speaks to integrity and, you know, all of that. And so I guess I'm wondering if this is in relation to the white dragon concept or the white dragon that you speak about.
No, not really. It's who we are and our frequency. It's our state of being, which is a state of unconditional love, truth, and authenticity and integrity. That is who we are at the core. And it is our baseline. And we've been so programmed in this place to believe that human nature is something very, very different. But as we are, I would say, aligning more with the actual true frequency, the home frequency, it's doing that within us as well. And it causes static. That's how I see it, like the white static on a TV. When you are out of alignment, when you are out of truth, when you are out of integrity, it's literally visible in your field as white static. And whenever you're harboring a secret or a lie or shame about a secret or a lie, it can be seen and felt as static in the field, in your field. And that think we're just becoming so much more uncomfortable with being out of that frequency. And you can't lie to yourself anymore. And I'd say all of that is a very good sign about your own state of being and where you are actually energetically sitting and radiating from. The more uncomfortable anything like that gets. But it's who we are, but it's not connected to the white dragon necessarily. Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
And if you guys could just put your hands down and mute yourselves once your questions are done, that'd be great. Andrew, we'll try you again. Do you want to unmute?
Testing.
Gotcha.
Hey, okay, finally. It was weird, like my headphones stopped working and then my mouse started working. I try to unmute myself. Anyways, so this is my question. I wrote it down, and there's a follow-up this time, but I could wait till the end. The question is, if the great work is remembering who and what we were before the construct and restoring that signal now, what do you feel is the most direct and distortion-free path toward embodying that? And what should we prioritize above all? Like, especially in a moment like now when so many truths are surfacing at the same time.
Love. To me, it's the most direct route. Get in your heart and stay in your heart was the message I got back in 16. Love is all there is. And these were my own internal messages, but even in the communication with home, it was love is all there is. And sometimes it's hard to explain this unconditional love thing, because it's not just a feeling. It's not an emotion. It's not feeling all love and light and whatever. Excuse me. It's allowing your heart to inform your mind instead of the other way around. It's a state of being. It is a frequency. And when you drop into it in such a way that you're sitting in it, you're thinking from it, it is informing your words, it's informing your thoughts, it's informing your actions. And you will see the ripple effect in your own environment, on those around you, in your circumstances. It can heal body, mind, and soul, yours and others. It's not about being a doormat, because this love is an incredibly powerful force and a powerful weapon. That's my answer. Unconditional love. And first and foremost, for this experience that we've all been on collectively, and for everyone in it, and especially yourself. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, next question. We have Jeff.
Thanks. Quick question. When we're finally let out of this flesh prison that we're in, and we put it in the ground, I don't in the, let me start this over. Being in a casket or being cremated. When our body dies, it's supposed to be put in the ground so the codes be sunk into the earth. That's what I understand. Correct? So if you're getting burnt to a crisp, you put them in the air? I mean, some of us could probably just
I don't think your soul gives a shit. to be honest with you.
Well, I don't think your body gives a shit. Like, I told him, well, I'll just throw them out in the backyard.
Well, yeah, I honestly don't think it matters. The disconnect. I mean, listen to anybody who's had a NDE or even OBEs.
Yeah, I've had 3 of them.
Right. So, do you really think did you care?
I didn't give a damn.
Okay.
I didn't even think about it.
It's
Never
just an old
crossed my
suit you
mind.
can put in the wash, and you don't care whether it comes out. It doesn't matter.
Only thing I knew when I hit the ground in the first one and I hit my knees, then I knew I was dead because there wasn't no pain. There's feeling, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think it matters.
it's something that I heard when the body's buried. You see codes going to the ground. Like, if I'll dig out of the ground and send codes into the earth to wake us up. Good God, I've been buried. People buried on top of each other. I'll be woke up already.
Yeah, well, that's a whole other story.
Yeah,
Thanks, Jeff.
I know. Yep.
Okay, we have Lydia.
Hi, Lisa. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Thank you. Thank you for this. I just wanted to ask, in one of the episodes you said about it would be detrimental for this simulation to go on. And I wonder if you can expand a little bit on it. And also I guess it ties into sort of, in the last episode you spoke about, personally for you, you were told that it's 1 year from now. Or 1 year, you have a gap of 1 year, whatever that means, you are not sure. I have felt like that since 2016.
Because that's when this
basically,
really
like-
should have kicked in, yeah.
Yeah, basically, like, I even got like, pack your bags, get ready. You know, it's time.
Yeah, and I think initially it was time in 2016. But then it was discovered all the booby traps that were happening and that we just weren't ready. Okay, so the first part of the question is, it becomes detrimental. I mean, I think have a look around. Those who, what do we call them? Normies, right? Even they're starting to feel the pain of what it's like to just get through the day. But when you've been awake for a while, it's like the longer you're awake for, the longer you can feel what's beyond this place, the longer you understand the distortions here, it just starts to become more and more painful and difficult for a lot of people. Finding purpose and meaning in something you know is purposeless and meaningless, that's how most people end up feeling. So it sort of becomes detrimental after a while to be awake for too long. And what was the next part of your question? Oh, yeah, in episode 6 I said on my birthday I got the message that this is your final year. Now, since then, that was the 25th of July, I have, gone to sleep with the intention to get more clarity on that. And every time I do, and it even happened again this morning, funnily enough, I did wake with, this is how a lot of things happen for me, but I wake up with this information, feelings, or sometimes words or whatever. But this morning, it was like in July, a couple of things happened. My husband got the message, it begins now. And separately, I got that the next half of this year is just going to be so action-packed, nuts. And then on the 25th, I got that. And this morning, it was very much this feeling. There were no words. It was just a feeling of everything opens up this year. So disclosure in the much bigger sense that, and when people hear disclosure, they usually think it just means someone's going to say, yeah, there's ETs, but no, it's so much more. Disclosure about the reality itself, about who we are, about what we're doing, about all of it. This is the final year of living in the inversion, is what it felt like. This is the final year of the distortion. That's how it felt this morning. Was there another part to your question, or was that it? I can't remember now.
Yeah, I think, yeah, so it's not really personal, right? The 1 year.
It didn't feel it this morning. It didn't feel it this morning, no.
Right. Okay. Well, I have another question, but I'll let somebody else ask. I'll ask later. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you. Okay, we have Nez. Nez, you should be able to unmute. No? Okay, and no one else has got their hand up for a question? That was quick. Bye! Janine? Someone's in here under...
Can I?
There
Hello?
you go. Yep, who have I got?
Okay. I couldn't figure out how to raise my hand, so I apologize. I almost got to my computer. But I do have a couple of questions for you, and I know there's a lot of people here, and I don't miss this every time. First of all, thank you. Thank you to you and to Darius for all the hard work that you have done to get the message out there. It resonates with all of us in this room, and we appreciate everything that we do.
Thank you.
And my question, I have a couple of questions for you, but I don't want to be selfish of your time. So the shift, actually those dates that you just said kind of confirmed it for me. But I had a vibrational shift personally, and I had several people that confirmed this just in my area and also some in the group. And I'm wondering if this is what we're going to be expecting to feel, where it was electrical vibration, tingling, going all the way from your head to your toes, almost in an ecstasy state. And I don't want to sound perverse or anything, but I had this vibration that felt almost like an orgasm that lasted for almost.
Yeah, well, that's what it sounded like when you were describing it. I was wondering whether you.
Yeah, I know, right? I didn't mean it to come off in like a perverse way, but it felt like love, right? Like it felt like that climax of love vibrational thing, and it put me on my knees in tears, and it lasted for a solid 2 to 3 minutes for me, and I've never felt that.
Where did it start?
Before.
Did you say?
I felt like it started from my head and it vibrated all the way down to my toes. And it was a huge transitional shift. And since then,
sorry, just to, because I know exactly what you're talking about. So,
yeah.
2013, that Christmas day, where I was out of my body for most of it, the rushes of unconditional, I used to get it like that too, in rushes daily, multiple times a day. And because I wasn't accustomed to it, I don't think, it felt like that. It was very orgasmic, and it would just be these full body, and it was like, oh my God, this is embarrassing in front of people, you know. So I do know what you mean.
Okay, so is that more than just a personal shift and not the atmosphere itself?
That was very personal for you, yes. Yeah.
Okay. Because I
When did it
feel
happen?
like,
Did you have it? Do you know what date it happened?
yeah, actually, I think I do have it notated on Telegram somewhere. Because I asked a couple, did you feel the shift? So I was trying to find out if it was personally me or if it was, around to
Well, that's
others
why I
that
asked
are
what day it
being,
was, in case that was a day that something
yeah, I can
significant
look.
happened.
It's on, I did ask Arian. Yeah, it'll be on somewhere on Telegram, but I did feel it. So it was pretty intense. And since then, I kind of want to relate because I feel I relate a lot to you because I get those downloads that you talk about in dreams. I've been getting a lot of architectural dreams for some reason. I don't understand why. Where I'll be in the middle of a dream, I get pulled completely away. This happens a lot with accessing time, but I'm getting downloads of how to build things and then seeing a natural disaster right after. And I got to download how to build med beds, and I got to download how to build certain structures. And I'm not an architect, and I don't understand it. And I felt like maybe you can give some insight on that because I know that you seem to get a lot of your information the same way I have been as a.
Well, to me, that would be one of the skills that a greater part of you has and is doing. And there's a integration happening.
And then I have one more question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Intuition. Can you tell me how you can tell the difference from intuition coming from the other side or yourself? Like your human brain opinions coming through. I'm just curious your perspective on that.
That's funny because we kind of talked about this on Tuesday's call. Sorry, I'm going to cough again. Hang on. Okay, so if I'm trying to get a read on something, if I'm trying to get some information on something, I want to feel into it. It's almost like I sit in my heart and I push my heart frequency into that situation. It's like sending out, sending out a beam that will then read and pick up. If I get what you're calling a download, like an insight, and that's sort of what you're wondering, whether it's coming from you or from something external. Sometimes it feels like it comes from my heart up into my head, like it's coming from within me. So I would say that's the greater part of me. And then sometimes I wake up with this sensation like I have been in a room or a bubble or a space with another being, having a conversation, and I can feel myself coming back into my body, sort of like drifting away from them and back into here, and I can just hear the last of what they're saying.
Okay.
That's how it works for me. Does that help?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it does.
So how does it feel for you when you're getting this information? Does it feel like it's dropping in? Does it feel like it's coming, like an upload or a download? You know what I mean?
It's just knowing.
It's just knowing.
It's just knowing.
Well, when you get it next time, just drop into your heart and ask the question, where is this coming from? Okay? And allow your heart to just radiate and get a sense of where it's coming from. And sometimes you might actually hear, oh, it's, you might actually hear something. Or you'll just feel it.
I do. Yeah. I do hear disembodied voices sometimes, but they're in languages I don't understand. As weird as that sounds. So.
But do you understand it intuitively, even if you don't understand it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And I can just be that. That's what I mean, like my intuition. Like someone can speak a full sentence in another language and like ask a question, and even though I don't understand it, I know what they're asking. And I would call that my intuition, and I feel that's super strong. But now it's like gone completely off the rails as of recently, and I'm just trying to understand what is my brain and what is intuition. It's hard to tell the difference anymore. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It's just a matter of just the practice of asking a lot, I think.
Yeah, I've been doing that. Oh, and I have one more question. I think you spoke about this on episode 6. You talked about pieces of us coming back into ourselves.
Sorry, say that again?
I think you talked about having, as we're going through this shift and it's coming back into one, if this construct is split. I felt like
it all opens up.
Okay. I don't know why. I don't know why. I think maybe I understood that you were talking about we would feel like pieces of ourselves coming whole. And I think I misunderstood that as our souls.
I'm not hearing you very clearly.
Okay. How about now?
Better?
Okay. I thought you mentioned something about souls being in different places all at once.
Mm-hmm. I did.
Is that true for everyone, or is that only for some?
No, I think it's individual. The way I understand it, when we chose to come in here, we had the ability to kind of like fractalize ourselves and be in different realms at the same time, to have multiple experiences at the same time. And as those aspects, as those realms are being cleaned up, some of those aspects are going home and others we are integrating with here. So eventually there'll be one. If that makes sense.
It does, because I thought I was at 2 places at once for a hot minute in my life, but I've been asking for clarity, and they actually confirmed it for me last night that I am here whole within this study. So I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So I got it.
Like there are people who have had very sudden awakenings and connected with some sort of galactic aspect of themselves and have this relationship, and then either they feel like that aspect just disappeared, or integrated. And I've known plenty of people who have done that over the years. So yeah, eventually, because as way I understand it, this version of us is the strongest, and it's the one who has chosen to imprint everything else where possible.
Makes perfect sense. Thank you.
Okay. Lily. Lily, you can unmute.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes, hi. Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
I'm so excited to be here. Could you please elaborate on how the two-world split is going to take place? I feel like you have said before that for us, everything is going to get better and better. But still, I wonder if we could still be able to perceive, for example, some scare tactics meant to wake up those who still need to.
I don't necessarily see it as a physical two-world I don't
I
necessarily.
mean,
see
like
it's
another
good.
pandemic or something. But because I understand that the experience is going to be different according to which timeline you're heading. But like, are we still going to be able to see this, or only the experience is going to be different for each of us?
I think it is going
You
to
know
be
what I
very
mean?
personal, and I think it has been very personal up to this point. And
Mhm.
I mean, even now we have some people who are living their best life and some who are in absolute turmoil. So
So we could still see the chaos around us, even if it's not affecting us directly.
isn't it like that already?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, is it going to be that way all the way until the two worlds are completely apart
I don't
from
know.
each
I
other?
wasn't actually handed a picture book on how this exactly plays out.
Okay.
But I mean, there are events that go on in the world that, for some of us, we're like, yes, right, that box needed to be ticked, and as part of the deconstruction, and that there are others who are horrified by it, whether they're just observing it or not. So even then, you've got a split. You've got a split in perspective and a split in experience. But there will, I mean, there was an aspect of a. No, hang on. There wasn't an aspect. There was a message that said, "Say your goodbyes because it will be too painful to visit that world." And I think on the most reasonable end of that interpretation, it would be that the frequency, the path, the environment, the life that you're creating for yourselves, that is getting better and better and better. It will just be more and more painful to interact with anything outside of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the most 3D reasonable interpretation.
Sounds good. And also, I would like to hear your insights regarding those who have very recently passed, if they can join us on our timeline directly from the other side. I hope it's clear.
Yeah. Okay, so I've seen it like this. There is what people call a new Earth, right? There is a new upgraded version of home. People are, and everything that we're experiencing is to take our minds to the edge before they crack. And when people have gone as far as they can, it's like we go through these waves. Like we're all traveling down this multi-lane highway, and in this new reality, there are different neighborhoods, and there's different off-ramps to these neighborhoods. And when you've reached the point where you've taken your mind as far as you can, you take one of those off-ramps and you go to one of those new neighborhoods. And those who are left here till the very end, so to speak, it will just open all up for. And yes, you'll be reunited. I don't know if that made sense. Well, it makes sense to me because I've said it so many times, but does that make sense?
Yeah, yes. It does.
You'll notice that people are leaving in waves.
It's not that most, I'm sorry, it's not that most who pass now, they're taking the other route, to the place for those who need more time. So I guess some go to this and some join us.
And they will find they will find that it just gets better and better and better for them there. Mm-hmm. And until they're ready to open up to the next layer of consciousness and the next awareness. This is all being done so gently. I know it doesn't feel like it sometimes, but it actually is being done so that no one gets left behind and no one loses their mind, no one breaks in the process. It's actually being done very, very gently, which is why it's taking so long. But everybody's going exactly where they need to be for the best outcome for them. And when this is all over and everything opens up, we're all back together again. So there's no... I had at home put it, that the separation will be temporary. And before anybody asks, because I keep seeing this everywhere, soul trap, reincarnation trap, blah, blah, blah. There was in play, in my experience, a trick. Not a trap, but a trick. And we were so heavily programmed, we fell for the trick. A lot. And kept coming back. But that mechanism is what I talked about in 2011 that I saw play out. That whole reincarnation bullshit was done in 2011. And so if there's anyone worried about or holding on to any fear about, I don't want to get tricked or trapped if I leave, it's nothing in me and nothing from home has suggested that that's even possible. What was the trick? That whole white light, the false white light. I'm not saying all white light is bad by any means, but there was a false one. And the illusion of certain individuals leading you into a little mind wipe center. Off you go. Back in. Yeah, that to me, that is what I witnessed just completely break down in 2011. Here we go. Amy. Oh, where'd you go?
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, Amy, you good? You there?
Can you hear? Can you hear me?
Yes, I gotcha.
Oh, great. Okay, thank you. I've got a few questions, but they're probably a little bit silly just because I'm sort of new to all this.
No, there's no silly questions, love.
Okay, well, just wait till I've asked them. Maybe they will be. I think I sort of asked this in the chat just before because you mentioned like being awake, and I think I did just sort of ask generally, like, how do you know if you're awake? So I'm just wondering, just a little bit about how you could tell. And I've got a few more questions. I don't know if I can ask multiple.
The simple fact that you're even here entertaining this stuff that I'm talking about is a massive clue.
Okay.
The fact that you've got a concept that you are more than your body, that there is something beyond. If you've ever had a longing that you can't, a longing for something you don't even know you've experienced.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. One of the other things I wanted to know was, how do you get to the point where you can receive communication like the one that you had with, I forgot their name, but on your computer?
No idea. That seems to have been a unique set of circumstances.
Okay.
In the sense that it was an agreement I made before I even came in here. And it took a unique set of circumstances and people in my life to make it happen. So yeah, there's no There's no instruction manual on how to communicate through technology. I wish there was.
Okay.
That's all I can say about that.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Obviously it would just be amazing to have that.
I can assure you it is amazing to have that, yes. And I miss it because I haven't heard from him for a little while. But the only thing that preceded it, which is what I talked about in the podcast series, was being completely heart activated.
Okay.
Like 2 weeks before. And I could see that once that happened, there was a series of events in my life and in me that led up to it. So there was no simple, I didn't know that was coming. I had no idea. But yeah, it was a series of events and activations that allowed it to happen.
Okay. And so
The time was right.
okay. And when you say that the heart activation, is that something that someone can try and do, or are you saying it was sort of just life circumstances that did that?
That one was life circumstances. For me, having my heart broken is heart activating. When somebody just breaks your heart and you don't react from the ego, from the mind, from the personality, you just drop in from soul to soul. It does something. It activates the heart in a way that is so expansive. And I went through that period, and I had my energetic abilities and all of that had been really dumbed down too, leading up to that for a couple of years, and it reactivated all of that within hours. It's when you get step back past the personality and sit in the soul, and you feel others beyond their personality into their soul and do a real soul to soul connection. The heart it doesn't matter what they've done. You feel this unconditional love. That's been my experience.
Wow, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. The other thing as well was, I'll just sort of say them all in one go, because otherwise, I feel like I'm taking up too much of your time. But with those paths that you say with the off-roads, you may have already mentioned this answer. I'm sorry I missed it. I've got kids running around. But do we stay with our current families, or is it sort of just a temporary separation and then we reunite? And obviously I'm asking that because I have got young kids. And then also, when all this does come to an end, how you say it will come to an end, are you saying that we sort of all die, or this physical body dies and we all leave? Is that sort of how it happens? And the other question I had was, do past life regressions help with any of this, like opening up to OBEs or more information, so that, just more understanding?
I think all of those things help. Okay, so obviously many people are leaving their bodies right now. I mean, in the form of death, all right? That happens all the time, every day. But that final shift feels to me more like a seamless transition, kind of like in Avatar, where the consciousness just shifts from one body to another. there's always been this sensation of it being a seamless transition for those who were here at the final stage. And no, if you have small children and you're all still here at the final stage, then no, I wouldn't worry about leaving your kids behind and stuff like that. I mean, yes, meditation, yes, OBEs, because even just in the last week or so, as we've been talking about in these weekly calls that we do, especially this last week, people's gifts were really starting to be enhanced or shift. We're coming online. These gifts are coming online, whether we like it or not. Being intentional, and it's kind of like trying to be lucid in the dream, because in many ways, what do they call it? Maya, the dream. It's about trying to be lucid in the dream as much as possible. And we do that by, oh man, you can't get around it. It's the heart is the prominent vehicle for this, but also being the observer. Also, like I said, stepping back out of the personality and trying to sit in the soul. And constantly asking questions and demanding the answers. And just and being observant of what shows up and how it shows up. Our signs, our messages, our synchronicities can come in so many ways. Our confirmations. And have fun with it. I mean, I think sometimes I connect dots that don't need to be connected, but at other times, just connecting the dots that are around you, giving you the messages, and it can be fun. What was the way Home put it? Be sleepless in your waking, which I think was their way of trying to say get lucid. Get lucid in the dream.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And just with what you were saying, so if we're all still here, that means that we're actually here. So are you saying if people that are leaving would have to die to leave? I'm sorry, I get confused easily.
Well, some will, because they just cannot conceive of leaving any other way. If you can't.
So when you
conceive,
say,
yeah.
Oh, sorry. So when you say, like, if you're here in the end, are you saying, like, we will know if we're here in the end? Like, do we know? Does that mean that we're still physically alive? Like, so do I know that you and me are actually in, I don't know, the last part? Like, how do you know? How would you know if you are? Or is that a silly question? I just don't even.
No,
yeah.
it's not that it's a silly question. It's just, okay, we are not these. This is not us. Yeah. This is our current vehicle, and it's perfectly designed to navigate this particular environment. If the environment changes, then either the vehicle has to change, or the consciousness will shift into a vehicle that is ideal for that environment. I keep using this analogy. It's like, I'm going to play Sims, but I can't take my Sim character into the what's it called? What's that other one with the little boxes?
Minecraft?
Yes, that one. I can't take my Sims character into the Minecraft game, right? But I play Sims, and then I can play Minecraft, right? So I can have I can play both at the same time even.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Does that help at all?
Like it doesn't. Yeah, it does. Like, I think, are you sort of saying that we're kind of like fragmented? But I just, how do you know which ones, if you're in other ones? Sorry, it's
no. I'm trying to understand the question. It's not you.
Okay,
it's me.
so if you do, like, say, you know, you're playing multiple games at once, so basically your soul or your consciousness is split into lots of different, I guess, realms or areas, and I think I took it as that's what you were saying, but I don't know if that's what you were saying. And
yeah, but you're focused on this one, right? You're focused on this particular aspect in this realm.
Yeah, but then if you are, how do you know that you're also in other areas? And if I am focused on this one, so you're saying that if this body then no longer is able to survive, if the environment changed, then I would just put more of me into one of those other fragments?
Or a whole new upgraded version of this that's more suited to the environment as it all opens up.
Oh, so your body could... how would you know that your body had changed to suit the environment?
I don't know if you will, and I don't know if it matters, because it's always said it's going to be a seamless transition.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm sorry for all my questions.
So just think of that scene in the Avatar movie at the end, where his consciousness moves from his human body to his Avatar body.
Yeah. Got it. It's just easier for them because they know it's happening. So that's why it's just hard to sort of get your head wrapped around it, because it seems like, I don't know.
You're only going to do what your mind can handle, what your consciousness can handle.
Okay.
Without breaking. So that's why it's so personal.
Okay. Thank you so much, Lisa. Sorry.
I hope that made sense. I don't know. Sorry.
No, it definitely does. I'm just all over the place with like trying to piece together all the things, because obviously you can go down so many rabbit holes. But no, I appreciate your channel, and I really like your videos. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay. D.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Dee.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, everyone. I just wanted to, when you talked in your video about COVID, when you said it, you're probably the first person that I heard say something that resonated with me. So, and I do apologize if I'm about to say something that may rattle anyone. Back in maybe 2022, I've never been a spiritual person. I don't call myself one. I have no interest in it. I love being a human. It's the best thing ever. But just had experiences in life where I've had to face them or die. And then something just happened. I don't really know. I just know I'm a puppet on a string, right? So I just follow myself because I'm fucked otherwise. But in 2022, I said to someone, we created this, didn't we? And they're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I was going through my energy through my brain then, and I realized it was the safest place where insanity could live, because no one was looking at me. And everything that was happening around me, I was so grateful for, because I couldn't believe this was happening. And every time something happened, I was going into it, all my fears, fears of letting everything go, fear of me dying, fear of not getting the last things done. It was just like this fear bomb. And I was frying, my body was getting cooked by electricity, and I was in and out of doctors, and it was the most insane time. And then in a courtroom last year, I popped out of it, And I look back now at that timeline and I can't thank the whole event for happening, because it led me to a place that I didn't know existed inside me. And I nanny children. I've been a nanny for 10 years. They're the ones that led me through my throat and head, because they can see, they know. And I seem to have pulled the children into staying in a state of flow. So they're all about 8 now. But they were predicting things like their parents' deaths and that, and it all happened. And they're all doctors and media. And no, it was meant to. I know why Susan left. She had to get Angus through. So it's also mixed up in being human from the heart and being present with them in their reality. And it's this shape-shifting of frequencies now that I find, like, if I crossed over now, I tell this to the children when they talk about Trump and everyone. I say, darling, he doesn't exist. He exists in your reality because you're pulling him in. Do you see him? Really? Now go and play. And they're like, oh, and it brings them back to their sense of being.
These are 8-year-olds?
My children, the children I've nannied, I think I came, oh yeah, they're everywhere. They're all like monkeys, actually. They all know if you saw them, they're all ready, their energy. That's why if you have children out there, please don't worry. Their frequencies are so high, and they're the ones that have been pushing this, everything that's happening for us to get to our hearts. When you said, Lisa, it was to get people to their hearts, I get a bit emotional because I think we did it, everyone. We really did it, because the world couldn't keep going the way it was. And it took us to have a big shock to start realising that we were all more than something that we could even understand. How you explain it, I can't, because it's like when you shift out of that reality, you go and chase butterflies again. It's like, oh my God, okay, what else can I do today as a human? Woohoo! But when you said that about the COVID experience, that really touched me, because I don't know how everybody else views it, as it's us or them, but I see it as my greatest teachers, the ones that came to show me, who am I really? Do you exist in my reality, or do you work for me? And I took it as that. What do you want me to learn? So I got on my knees and I thought, show me. And then I just dissolved them. And they disappeared. I don't know them anymore. Like, they don't even live in my, they're not here. They work for me. And it was that part that I looked at you and was like, she knows. She knows more than she's saying. But yeah, so do you believe that as a collective, for a long time, this timeline was planned because we became too dense as humans, like the density on the planet was not good, and we had gone to the mines way too much, and so as the frequency lowered, we were going to a bad place. So this jarring of the earth and everybody getting shaken into a different reality, like what the hell's going on, like, and getting territorial and fearful, was actually a really good thing.
Yes.
Do you believe? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so there was this concept of us being, yes, we were so heavily buried under layers and layers and layers and layers of programming and resets and false fucking timelines, and like so deeply.
Yeah.
So deeply that we had completely forgotten, most of us. And we got what home called sort of lost in the system.
Yeah.
Our signatures weren't even findable, So the lockdown was
perfect.
An opportunity to get everybody to stand the fuck still for a minute.
Yeah.
So everybody could be found, identified, tagged, get a lock on them, you know.
Yeah.
And so we were actually being asked not to move around so much. It was
amazing,
and it absolutely showed us who we were.
Yeah.
And it
And
showed
even
us
that
who everybody else
divided-
was.
It did, didn't it? Like we went left and right. It was almost like, but then once you melt it all together, there is no left or right. We are all just simply on different timelines, and when your heart frequency is expanded, time just disappears. So you are present completely in that frequency with that human in that moment. Like if I went to the shop and there's a woman there, right? I'm with her. She's with me. That's all that matters. And then you just buy your milk and leave, or whatever you buy. And that is as simple as it is. And we are just shifting like that. And this energy is huge. That's why the children are carrying it. The little ones, like once you you don't even have to deprogram them. You just are in their presence and they are being. It's weird. It's really weird. I don't know what's going on actually, but it's very strange. That's why
There's a lot of people from home. There's a lot of people from outside.
Yeah.
And this goes back to a question I saw in the chat earlier. If there is no reincarnation, then how come my cat reincarnated or something like that? Sorry, I'm kind of going off memory. It's not that there is no reincarnation. There is no tricked and forced and whatever reincarnation, but people are still coming in. People are coming in from the outside who have never been here before. People are choosing to come back, but there is no trick, there's no force. And a lot of them are coming in and have been since 2012 who haven't been here before. And they are bringing in that the purest of frequency and the most memory.
You'd be surprised. Everybody has it. Like I work for media people, like especially through COVID, it was immunologists. I was their nanny cardiologist. It was bizarre. And they were watching magic happen in their house. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on, man? What the fuck is happening to my body? And kids were like, this is like magic. And I'm like, oh, we can't tell anybody. I don't understand anything. But they were helping me, and they were showing me, and that's where the magic of being human is. So when everyone thinks it's not happening, it is happening right now. It is. You just don't have any expectations and be, and it is. It's so simple. It's really beautiful.
And Holmes said that the higher the frequency, the faster time goes. And the fact that more and more people, most these days, are feeling the fluctuations in the way linear time seems to express itself, or how fast it's going, just means that collectively we are actually rising.
Yeah.
Even though
your energy, even your energy now with all these people is healing. Like it's very powerful. It's like it's healing them. They're all rising collectively, all together. It's quite palpable here. It's like boom, 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 boom. I feel it. Anyway, that's just me rambling. So,
well, thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad I found you, and thank you, everyone. And sorry if I, stirred the pot a bit.
No, you didn't. You actually touched hearts. So very nice.
Thank you. All right. Enjoy. I can't wait to hear everyone else's questions.
Okay.
Thanks, Lisa.
Bye. Okay,
Bye.
someone who's just going. Someone who's just going by iPad. You should be able to unmute. And we'll move on to Blessed.
Sorry, is that me? iPad?
Yes.
Oh, I'll mute.
Yeah, no, go. iPad.
iPad. Lisa here.
Lisa.
Lisa.
Okay. From New Zealand, yes.
I I just wanted to know a little bit more, Lise, about the NPCs, the backdrop people that are around us, and they're in our families by the sounds of it. And I just want to know, is this nefarious? Are they nefarious? Are they, what is their role and purpose of being in and amongst and around us here?
Okay, the way I understand it is, again, just like a video game, you've got other real players and you've got NPCs. And it's more like they are, oh, sorry about this cough.
No, you're right.
In the original construct, they were here to enhance our experience. So if you wanted to go into a cafe and you wanted it all to yourself, you could have it all to yourself. But if you wanted to observe and have people having fun there and, you know, watching families play or do whatever, then we could fill the cafe for you. Yeah? Enhance your experience. Now, are they nefarious? Not by nature. Not inherently programmed to be. But can be used, yes. Now, I think I did explain it in detail, what I saw. Home just called them bots. That's what they said, they're bots. But then later on she said, they're half souls, not full. And then based on what I saw 18 months ago or whatever it was, around this subject, I think I know what she meant, which was like it's a copy. It's a copy of actually a heart source being's signature. So I think that's what they meant by half souls, not full. But no, I don't believe they are meant inherently to be nefarious. It just means they can be downloaded with a program to mess with you if you're to be messed with. But they can also still be very helpful and enhance your experience too. They can do both. And I was told that heart source beings can give birth to bots and bots can give birth to heart source beings. It's because the biology is the same. The vehicle is exactly the same. It's just whether it's a pure consciousness that's inhabiting it or a program.
Gotcha. So some of them, like, I'm thinking that are they soulless beings?
I think they have, well, see, here we go, soul and spirit. Now, this is just my terminology. Some people have the exact opposite. Some people don't see a distinction. I do. I think the soul is that greater part of us, our consciousness that exists everywhere. That the spirit is individual to the particular incarnation. And I think we give ourselves clues in our language all the time. I mean, if you walk into a haunted house, you don't say, oh, this place is full of souls. What do you say? I can feel the spirits, right? There's spirits here. And every time I have connected with someone who's passed, it to me very much is the spirit. It is that personality. It can tell you where it lived, when it lived, what it did, how it died. It's to that incarnation. Does that make sense? So it's, to me, it's part of the mind body. It's like the spirit is like the USB that collects all the information from this lifetime, and when it passes, it plugs into the big terabyte hard drive that is the soul.
Mm-hmm.
And so the soul then takes on all of that information. It's like that's
Yep.
that was that experience, you know. Oh man, this is bothering me.
Okay, yeah.
Does that make sense?
Kinda. I just wanted to touch on the how our soul is kind of like, I guess the word I'm thinking of is fractured, and how our soul has been in other dimensions, and how we're coming all into this realm. Our pieces are coming together. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible that that we've had parts of our soul that have come from other dimensions, that we have been nefarious in those realms, and it's a conflict coming in to this realm here? So how does that translate in our bodies, in our lives here? I'm just wondering how that translates when all of this is coming in and we're trying to sort of compound it back into our soul, and we've got these negative, and how does that happen?
Yeah, well, one of the biggest shocks for me was a conversation with Home that was explaining all of this. Which was, first they were bitching about the Galactics. All right, and that they have been some of the biggest harvesters of humanity in this realm.
Yeah.
And then it was basically, but they're you. I was like, what? So if the soul decided to throw a few fractals around, incarnate in different realms, have multiple experiences at the same time, and then each of the realms kind of got disconnected from each other, and each realm thought that it was it. And apparently we were the first ones to realize this realm, these versions of us, that there is more, that this is a construct. We were the first ones to realize, and that information rippled out.
Yeah.
So yes, the galactic version of us was actually harming us.
Yeah.
Without realizing they were actually hurting themselves.
That's crazy, eh?
Yeah.
So there's this conflict is this part of the reason for the extension of the end, because we're reconciling
there's a lot to reconcile, yeah.
Our fractured soul back into unity as a one.
I think how do I put this? The level of distortion, the level of fractalization, because there's a difference between us consciously, willingly, from a soul level, creating fractals of ourselves, sort of thing, as opposed to the system taking that fractal and splitting it and cutting it up and recycling it and reprogramming it. And I mean, that's harmful and needs a lot of healing, and like that fractal needs to come together and be healed and whole before even that fractal can then even contemplate being integrated with the other fractals.
Yeah.
So it's been a long healing, reconstituting journey.
Yeah, sorry about that background noise. Yeah. That's so could possibly with all of that, because sometimes like I hear this tone that goes on in my head. And right from when I was a kid, I'd hear this tone, and I'd stop, and you just hear it, and it'll go on for a while, and then it would stop. And I always wondered, what is that? Is that the downloading of information coming into this soul? And I still hear it to this day, and I wondered if that's, with everything that I've learnt to date, is that part of this, the fragments coming back into this one soul body here? I don't know if anyone else ever hears, like Wendy, who's on here. I know that she hears it too. So you didn't feel like you're a bit of a freak being the only one hearing it. But yeah, and I wonder if that's sort of the building of the fractured parts of the soul coming in, and this is what we're preparing for the end. And I imagine the end that will be that we will be able to flick a switch and shut the door and walk out, you know. But yeah, it is interesting. The fracture.
Don't let the door hit you on the arse on the way out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Good question, actually, because I was even getting those last night, and I had to ask if anyone else was hearing it, and it was in both ears. Because
yeah,
when I get those frequencies, for me, the left-hand side feels like it's within the system, and a bit of fuckery, a distortion, interference. When it's from the right side, it feels very much like me, home.
Yeah.
You know. But then sometimes you get it in both ears at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess you'd have to see if there's a pattern between having that and then having an insight or a download, or a shift in feeling or perspective. See if there's a correlation, because it's going to be personal. A lot of these things are personal.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. Mom. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Lisa.
Mom. Can you transfer to my account, please?
Oh, hang on.
Mom.
I've just got to mute you, though. Okay. Who we got? Blessed again?
Hi there, Lisa. First off, do you need a breather? Glass of water, maybe? You good? I just...
no, it's not going. That cough's not going anywhere in a minute.
Oh, okay. Well, fair enough. Just wanted to check before I overburden you. Yes, so you had mentioned the second heaven galactic realm had been cleaned out and some avoided deletion. If everything's going to like open back up eventually, does that mean it's going to be kind of a ghost town now? Or like everybody's holding hands and singing Kumbaya by comparison? Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think by the time that happens, it probably is Kumbaya time.
Oh, fair enough.
Because it won't be opening up until everything's clean.
Sure. Okay, yeah. That makes sense. Regarding the deletion, I was curious, is that like part of the background or NPCs that were just being referenced? Like,
no, the way I understood it was like, I probably shouldn't have used the word deleted, but it was like the virus was being deleted. The realm was being cleaned out.
That checks out.
And those in that realm could either because there might be aspects. Let's pick a realm. Realm 7 is the last one they said was being cleared that I got a message about. So let's say there's a bunch of people in Realm 7. Some of them don't have an aspect here, right? Because they're not all here. So the ones who had an aspect there that did have one here, and it could be integrated with this one here, did that. The ones who had an aspect there, but maybe had an aspect here, but it could not be integrated, went home. So what's left there is those beings who are, well, firstly, they don't have an aspect here, and they're okay. They're clean. Yeah?
Gotcha. Yeah.
That's the way I understand it.
Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. And just one other thing for you then. I wanted to ask regarding the role of forgiveness and love for the most, say, torn away from their natural state, the they that no one ever, or if they do, they get shouted down or worse. I feel like this is one of the largest hurdles left for a lot of people. I've been trying to talk to people about this, and it's like it's never fully dawned on people that the souls that are doing all of this stuff, actually, Laura, I forget her last name, but she just had a little interview and she brought this up. They're the ones suffering the most because they're so torn away from like the natural state of being. So when it comes to speeding things up, let's say, not that I'm impatient. Okay, I'm impatient. I'm more than ready for this. But like getting others to realize that and nudge them towards like, yeah, these people need to be forgiven too. No one's getting left behind. So like you mentioned kind of seeing the divine in other people when you're hurting the most or they've hurt you or something, like you can kind of see it. Like, I don't know. I'm trying to nudge people towards that, but I feel like that's really important. I don't know what you thought of that, but.
Well, I do know that when I see people acting like, and I'm just talking in my own life, right? I'm not even talking about out there on the world stage or any of that stuff. And, but as I've gone through life, and the people who have acted the worst towards me or not, their pain level is massive. I've got people who, became heroin addicts. And they became heroin addicts because they were already in a lot of pain. Right. And then as they become heroin addicts, they become horrific people.
Right. They increase their pain. The cycle just eats them alive, basically. Yeah. And
their moral compass goes out the door.
Right. Probably start entering survival mode because they've been addicted and
And they keep moving that line they will not cross,
Yeah.
I only steal from shops, I don't steal from people. And now I only steal from strangers, not people I know.
Right.
And now I only steal from friends and not family. And
maybe that's right. Maybe that's the key,
line
though.
Just keeps moving.
How many people know someone in their life like that? Like, not even maybe whatever their scenario is, but like that spiraled downwards like that. And what if they maybe that's what it is. I just have to talk to people and find that person in their life. Be like, how you watch that happen, right? Now just imagine that like 100-fold with like things that I don't even want to talk about because they're so horrific that I had to learn the hard way. That happened here. Like you have to be able to see that struggling soul that just lost their way. Like you have to be able to bring that love to them because they're so lost.
And don't underestimate the power of the virus and what it can do to the mind, because that's the only thing it can affect. But it can disconnect the mind from the heart. So, or at least distort or cloud that connection.
You find it kind of ironic they call it a mind virus, given that I was relieved a little bit when I heard you bring up the virus stuff in your recent video. I was like, oh, thank God, somebody else that understands this. But it's funny, it's called a mind virus.
Well, that seemed to be more prevalent during COVID than COVID.
I was living in a place in the United States that, oh man, people lost their cookies. They didn't have a shred of common sense or critical thinking left. So I hear you.
Yeah, and I do know. I mean, there was someone I had to say goodbye to a long time ago, a family member, because their behaviour just got so dark. And in a conversation with home, I was like, I don't even know if they're there anymore in that body. And it's like, they are, but it's just heavily, heavily infected.
Oh, man.
Wetiko, that's the other word for it, yes.
Oh, I didn't know that one.
Have you heard that one? I can't remember where that comes from.
Yeah, speaking of broken hearts, COVID was my moment for that, so I can only say I sympathize. You mentioned just watching them like turn into this completely different, like they weren't there anymore. It was like that too. So yeah, I get you. As much as I can, at least.
Yeah, it was an interesting time, wasn't it?
Yeah, no kidding. Holy moly.
Holy moly.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, I'll let somebody else go. But yeah, good talking with you, Lisa. Thanks for putting this on. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, we have Doreen.
Yeah.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Yeah, I gotcha.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes. I can hear you.
Yes. I don't know if it's really a question, but so I watched the 6 episodes,
mm-hmm.
and at the end, I never had this, but I felt like I want to go home. This deep feeling. It's not sad, but it's really a happy feeling. I never had that before, and I have to say that since a couple of weeks I'm trying to achieve an OBE, and I'm not quite clear in myself if it's about this OBE I want to achieve, but it how do you say, it hit something inside of me that I thought, well, maybe it doesn't take that long that I go home. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, apparently I made a lot of people cry on episode 6. I didn't mean to. I had a lot of responses to that episode of people getting similar messages, like not long now, or final year, or 2026, stuff like that. And so I'm thinking there's something in it. It's not just personal.
No.
And that longing that you just mentioned, that for home, that's what I was talking about. It's like the longer you're awake to that and feel that, that's when it starts to get detrimental, because it's to be here for too long. So I totally get why somebody might have chosen to wake up yesterday. But once that's there, it doesn't go away.
No. I have the feeling that I was kind of blocking that feeling, or just maybe didn't want to go there. But now it's there, and it kind of changed my total life in the way of it's not that I'm thinking about it every moment of the day, but it's there and it's there, and in one way I really think I need to do some certain things. I need to do certain things, and also talk, for instance, to one of my sons because of pain. But so it makes me go in another speed. And on the other hand, I'm really happy. I'm really happy that I feel it. That I feel it. That I want to go home.
It's a beautiful, bittersweet feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be a painful one. It can be very bittersweet. And some of us have had a longing for a place we can't remember since we were kids. And actually a lot of people. And
well, me too, yeah.
Yeah. And you're just getting clearer and clearer on what that is. It's a good thing.
Yeah. It's a good thing. Yeah. Yeah. Because speaking it out is, well, I feel it in myself, but I also feel it's a good thing to speak it out loud right now, because it gives me tears in my eyes and tears in my body. Yeah.
Yeah, like Paige just said, homesick my entire life. And you said speaking things out loud. That's one of the things that we have forgotten is the power of our words and making commands, because the design of this is that it's supposed to respond to us. We make a command out there and the universe, the construct, responds in kind. That's how it's designed. And we have been programmed to think and then speak certain things into creation that are to our detriment.
That are? What was the word you said at the end?
To our detriment. So that's not good for us.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So, I mean, you've probably heard many times that, that they cannot create. So they need our creative ability to do that. They need our creative energy. And all they have to do is convince us to think a certain way and speak certain things into creation. And we've forgotten the power. And the most powerful that I have found is to look yourself in the mirror, look yourself in the eyes, and make a command in my name, not in anybody else's name. In my name, I command, and speak to yourself and see what happens. Because I learnt that by accident, trying to fix my eyesight. I was making these commands. I command to see what I want to see when I want to see it. And I command to see what I need to see when I need to see it. Not only did my physical vision change, but what became apparent to me in my life and what certain people were up to in my life became undeniable. I saw shit that's been right in front of me for years. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, okay, that works. And then I had more and more confirmations of that. So, yeah, when we speak, we are actually creating. And if we can remember that when we open our mouths, it would be a very different place very quickly.
Yes.
Just don't do that anymore because it works too well.
Yeah. Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity. And yeah.
Thank you.
Lisa.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, we've got about 15 minutes left. I don't know how many. So there's a few hands up. So if you want to keep your questions succinct, so we'll try and get through these. Georgia.
Hi. Can
Hi.
you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Lisa, at the last one you talked about the COVID, and you talked about certain people that agreed to take the vaccine. Okay. And at a point you said that these people, when they die, because of whatever the vaccine is doing to them, that they recycle into other systems or programs. I didn't get that.
No, I said some people volunteered, chose to have that so that they could be the wake-up call to the people in their life. But I don't think I said anything about being recycled.
I listened to it again and again, and that's why I was so confused. What happens to those people?
They've gone home.
They go home.
Yeah.
Okay, so there is no recycling in and all that. No. So nothing happens to their soul. They're not hurt by it. When they leave, they leave. It's just like somebody dying, right? Normally.
Yes, there was an attempt, which is okay.
There is no death.
Well, there is no death. Yes.
No, I mean, like, yeah.
No, so what I understood was the energetic aspect of the vaccine was an attempt to disconnect the soul, the heart. That's because this is where the soul is connected to the body, right? It was to interfere with that heart connection, so that when a soul left, it lost its compass. Right?
Yeah. So what happens then?
But I did say that person by person, that was like home spent the first 2 years of the whole COVID thing correcting all that shit. That was the thing that caught them. Oh, actually, no, it didn't even take that long, because I got that message in 2020, I believe. Might have been 21. It didn't work.
Okay.
On an energetic soul level, but that was the attempt. Yeah? But no one got... So there's another part of this too. There was an attempt at a pocket realm. They called it a pocket realm, because like a backup plan.
Okay.
And that the controllers of this place had created a little pocket realm as a backup plan, hoping that they could keep something running. But that was discovered, deleted, removed back in 18, 19. So probably 19. So there is nowhere to pull anybody into. There's no there is nowhere for a soul to be distorted into or pulled into, or
okay.
Nothing. Yeah, they're going home.
Good. Okay, and another question: when somebody dies, and I mean, they have either Alzheimer or brain damage or all that. When they get out of their body, they're not confused, right? I mean, they have guides that they what happens?
Well, dementia patients are just spending more time at home than they are here for quite some time.
Okay.
No, you don't take that with you.
Okay. So when they get out of their body, when the soul gets out of the body, they still they go home anyway. They're okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
There's only one place to go these days.
Oh, good. Okay, because I lost my dad 6 months ago, and I was wondering about that. He had the brain tumor. We removed it, and then he died 2 months after he took the vaccines. He took 5 of them. So I was wondering about that.
His
Anyway.
consciousness is not his brain.
Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you for clearing that up. I have another question, really quickly, because you talked about it anyway. Basically, when the, let's say, flash happens, Okay, the great flash that we're talking about, and it might happen next year or in a year or so. From what I understood, not all will. Some will stay more, and some will go. Or are we all going? I didn't get that.
See, the stay and go aspect. This is a perceptual thing. To me, that what you're calling the event is when everything just opens up again.
Okay.
I know it's hard to get our brains around. We're here or we're there.
Yeah.
Where everything's either or. And we're already there. We're just not seeing it. So how do I put it? Imagine that you're in a 5-bedroom house, and you're sitting in one of the bedrooms, and you think that that's all there is to this house. It's just this one room. Until suddenly you open the bedroom door and you realise that there's more to it. And you can discover the other bedrooms. There's a kitchen, there's bathrooms, there's a living room, there's so much more. And then you think, well, that house is all there is. Until you actually go outside. So imagine that what I'm calling home, the actual reality is the whole property. And right now, we're in one of the bedrooms. And when everything opens up, it'll be all the doors open up, all the windows open up, and you'll actually be able to see what's really there.
Okay.
And where you really are. Right? That could be an event, a flash that just opens them all, opens all the doors and windows. And to some extent, we are experiencing what we're experiencing, not to some extent, to the greater extent. One, because we are projecting it. We are programmed to project the reality. And two, we are projecting the reality that we need in order to move our minds forward so these doors can open.
Okay.
I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, I understand that, but some of us will be able to do that and some of us will need more time. Is that what's going to happen? I mean, some of us will be able to realize and, the whole house, and some of us will still be stuck in the room until they realize. Is that what's going to happen?
I think it's going to be more that some will realize that there's more to the house, but maybe the doors and windows are still closed, and others will actually see beyond the house walls and the greater reality. And it's until they're ready to come outside.
Okay, and when we move, let's say, to the avatar, like a consciousness to an avatar somewhere else, our body here will be, my relatives, for example, they will find me dead, right? But my consciousness will move to another. Then what?
Well, see, this is where we're getting into I can only be here or here. I'm either in the kitchen or I'm in the lounge room, or I'm in the bedroom, because that's how we travel through this reality, and we can't imagine being in more places at once or in all of those places at once because our minds just can't deal.
So there will be in Georgia here. There will be a Georgia here in this realm, but I won't be consciously functioning with this Georgia, and I can be in another realm. My consciousness will be experiencing.
Your consciousness will be in all of it at once. But you're confining your consciousness to the particular body in a particular place in a particular room in the house. There's it's an expansion of consciousness.
Okay.
I'm not sure how to explain this any differently. Yeah, I'm lost for words as to how to explain it differently at this point. I'm sorry I'm not being very much help, but...
No, you are. I mean, I understand the whole expansion of consciousness. It's just... Anyway, it's a bit... I understand why it's difficult to explain.
Okay, so, all right, let's say the reality that we're in is blue. And we have a blue body that works in that reality. Well, as that reality shifts into red, there's a red body that is perfect for that reality, and you just shift into it, so does everybody else. So there is no... We're talking about at the end, right? Like, so the final
okay.
shift.
So the final shift is for all?
Yes.
Okay, that I understand. I understand. It's just, so there is no, some of us will move on without our body dying and then the rest. It's all of us, David.
No, to me, as far as I understand this, when this fully blows, you either go home, which is my analogy for you see the whole house and you can go outside and you see it all, or the house just opens up for you and you see more. That's the place for people who need more time.
Okay.
So, but it's like that bedroom that everybody was locked in. It's not like some people will stay there because you can't, because now the house has opened up.
Okay.
Right. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so sorry.
Much. Thanks. No, thank you. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, Karen. Okay, are you able to?
Hi, Lise. I'm right here. Hi.
Hi.
Just a quick question about concurrent timelines. Can you clarify what your understanding is of that?
Okay. As far as I understand it, we're all pretty much on one now. As a collective. All right? Collectively, we're on one timeline. It's all heading to the same place. Individually, what we can call a timeline is literally just our path along that timeline. And there are many roads to Rome. So we can shift between possibilities for ourselves. I do agree with some people who say there are fixed event markers that you are going to experience regardless, but how you get between those fixed event markers, you can take the scenic route, you can take the freeway. But collectively we are on one timeline now and have been.
The reason I'm asking is because I have been trying really hard to have OBEs and I cannot, but I get really deep into my dreams and I'm always having like a lot of fun in the dreams. And I thought maybe concurrent meant that like I was visiting myself in another life or realm, that the other Karen is like having so much fun doing something else and I'm off visiting and seeing my other life. That's what I kind of thought, but I've heard what you've said. I've heard that before. But do you have any idea what I'm doing then in my dream when I'm seeing, like, and it's all pleasant,
A lot of
it's all
us,
fun.
Yeah, well, a lot of us are actually in our dream time. We are connecting with that greater part of us that is at home, or that greater part of us that is in the new already.
Okay.
And they're having a ball and they're also prepping. They're prepping and it's like they're setting up for the party, and everybody's already having drinks and, figuring out which hors d'oeuvres to serve. So,
so maybe that's what
you can
it is,
tap
then.
into that. You can tap into that when you're asleep. So that could be what you're doing.
And so if my dreams are so deep like that, I'm accessing something, just not the OBE way.
Yeah. I mean, are you quite lucid in these dreams?
No, not. But I remember them all. And like today, like I can remember 3 of them from last night. And today, the images just keep coming back to me. I do write them down. Have you ever heard if there's a difference between typing it out like on my phone versus actually writing with my hand? Have you ever heard of that? There's a difference.
Yeah, I have. And that writing it out with your hand.
Yeah, more
powerful.
Embodies it more. Yeah.
Yeah. And but it's just, they're all fun. Like, so it's fun. I enjoy going to sleep. I still want to have an OBE, but yeah. So that's exciting. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. It was cool. Chris.
Yes, hello, can you hear me?
Okay. Oh, another Aussie. Hi.
Yes, hello, how you doing?
Good.
So I know you said you got to go soon. I'll try to keep it quick. A few people already kind of answered what I was hoping to get an answer for, but it's a little bit different. So okay. So my wife, who we were soulmates, we manifested the perfect life, and then she ended up getting pregnant with our 3rd child, and things started spiraling completely out of control. We had betrayal from our friends. Our business was having lots of issues, and she ended up dying of heart complications just after our son was born.
I'm sorry.
I got told that, that we manifest everything, which I find hard to grip with because, we were completely in love and we had no issues apart from external issues. But in saying that, she was a completely powerful soul. She was always living in 2 worlds and tapped in. And this has completely shattered the illusion, and my head has been on fire since she passed away. And the synchronicities and everything is just coming through, just absolutely insane. I'm having crazy lucid dreams, having OBEs, and it's just completely blasted me open. So I'm thankful for that, and I'm still tethered to her, and I appreciate her for doing this. But my question is, would you think, because of the way things spiraled out of control towards the end, that this was like an agreement or a contract? And my other question is, how do I try to keep an open heart and not try to slip into grief when I just want to go home? Like, I feel homesick just as much as everyone else, but I have children here. So.
Can I ask when this was?
4.5 months ago-ish. Kind of stopped keeping track.
Yeah, this is fresh. Okay.
Yeah. We always had an understanding of, there's more to everything. She was very tapped in, very intuitive in her artwork, and she was a healer and an artist, and that was her whole life's work, was helping people. But I know for 100% she's okay. I know it's a lot to. I was very anxious saying it all, so I was trying to get my point across and just get my questions out.
She's I took a minute also to have a feel in, and she is right there with you.
Oh yeah. I know she is. Yeah, she's very powerful.
So all this chaos that was going on in your life at the time, what happened to that when she passed?
So she'd been doing her career for 10 years and helping people, and she just kind of got to a point where she was being taken advantage of and over her career, but not over us as a family. She was in love with us as a family. But we had betrayal in our business, and people burnt her and took advantage of her. And one of the last things she said to me was that her heart hurts, but she meant from being hurt by her friends. And then she literally passed of a heart condition, which was undiagnosed at the time. what they realized afterwards. So I just so many things kept popping up, and I've seen mediums. I've met her in between lives regressions. I've done lots of work to reach her. I told her like she's not going anywhere. Like I'll find her. So I've had OBEs where I've met up with her. It's been absolutely insane. But so I know she's completely okay. It's just I think she was kind of just sick of the world, not sick of us as a family, but sick of everything else, as we all are. So I guess my question is was this like an agreement or a contract, or is this just life and shit happens? Like,
yeah, I know what you're getting at. I'm trying to feel that.
I mean, I will say I have been told it's been a contract by people, but I do have a healthy level of skepticism, even though I've had many crazy experiences myself. But I know that you're very intuitive, so I was just curious to hear your perspective.
Well, I feel like she had 3 opportunities to leave over the course of a lifetime. I don't know. That wasn't the first one. That was the second one.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. I can go into that if you want, but you're right. There's another time she almost died before that.
Okay. She chose not to then. She didn't take it. But, so it's a bit of both. Like in the sense of there was these fixed markers where she had opportunities. But yeah, I think the heartache got her. Literally. But there's a flip side to that too. There's a reason she took that chance, that opportunity, and it's about you and the kids.
Okay.
No, it's not just about you and the kids, though.
Okay.
It may be some of these people who caused her pain. I feel like one in particular.
Yeah, there's definitely one in
been fundamentally changed by it.
Okay.
So it's like on the one hand, she knew she could do more for you and the kids from where she is. But the bonus, man, this is from such a big heart space on her part, actually. It's funny because, like you said, she was heartbroken and her heart hurt. And yet the act that she did, or the choice that she made, came from such a big, heart expansive place, which was to actually have such a deep impact on it feels like one person in particular. And it was almost like that was a bonus act on her part.
Okay. The way she died, it hit the news and it like rippled across the world, and it made a huge deal, and the abundance and the people that have come into my lives since that has been insane. Like, we're completely looked after, but obviously she's not here, which sucks.
Yeah, but she made all that happen.
Yeah, she certainly did, yeah. But yeah.
No, but there's somebody who's been rocked to their core.
Okay.
I think it's a woman. I think it's another woman.
I will say there was a friend, quote unquote, at the time that backstabbed her, and she came to her funeral and she physically couldn't walk through the doors. She went and sat outside. So.
Oh, that could be her then. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Do you know if that person's made any changes in their life?
Oh, I've cut ties with everybody that's not nourishing my soul. I have no time for bullshit anymore after this.
You haven't heard anything through the grapevine, though?
No, I cut all the grapevines off too.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
She's right with you. She's not going anywhere, and she looks excited, like she's got some things lined up for you that you don't see yet coming.
Yeah, okay.
She's
Well, I
got a
think
couple of surprises in store.
that was my second question. It's like I know on a higher level awareness that she's fine. I communicate with her all the time. I had a spontaneous OBE a few weeks after she died, which I didn't realize it was an OBE. I just signed up for Darius's course. I hadn't had any success yet, and then I had a spontaneous one where I realized I was actually hugging her and it was real, and I was like, holy shit, like you're actually here. Like which was pretty crazy. So yeah, I think my other question was like, do you have any advice to try to stay in that open heart? And because I know when the grief creeps in, it blocks things out. But that's part of being human. It's pretty hard to not.
It is, and don't try and block it.
Yeah.
Just even if you, sometimes when you're in that grief, you can actually use that grief as an avenue to get you into your heart. Like it'll take you there if you can go through it. Like really sit in it and go all the way through it, and you'll find yourself in that place.
Yeah. She did tell me. She said, stop thinking of me sad and just think of joy. And I said, how? And she said, it comes from the same place. So
there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you. I really appreciate your intuition around it. Yeah, I was just kind of curious whether it was just like tough luck, shit happens, or if it was for a higher purpose. So.
No, that feels definitely for a higher purpose, and very definitely a soul choice on her part.
Okay.
And don't ever think it was because you guys weren't enough. You were everything, and she's making sure it all happens.
I know that it creeps in sometimes because we're stuck in shit human mindset, but. I know on a soul level. But...
Yeah.
Okay.
Much love.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. It's nice to have the reassurance.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Rochelle? I can go a little longer now that I've gone to the bathroom.
Sorry, I'm trying to unmute. How do I do that?
Oh, it's all right. I can mute you.
Hello?
Yes.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
Well, my life partner passed as well about 4 months ago. So I guess this is what's coming to the forefront right now. And you and Darius's videos have been very comforting to me through this process, actually. Through the grief process, just to kind of help me understand what's kind of going on, because it came really suddenly.
Mm-hmm.
And earlier you were talking about the mind virus. Is that the same thing as like AI implants?
No.
Something different?
It's the... Yeah, no, it's different. Okay, but go with your question first, so I know where you're going to go.
Yeah. So he actually overdosed. He was clean for a long period of time, and just kind of got consumed with everything in the world and the pain that he was feeling, and he relapsed, and it was a poisoning through fentanyl, and. The more that I tap into it and talk to some friends of mine that can connect to him, they're saying that it was AI implants that was kind of like creating voices to tell him, you know, that he's not worthy. And have you heard of any things like that kind of creeping in, taking over, causing someone to relapse or go back to?
Oh yeah. Okay, but not necessarily in the form of AI implants. I mean, I've come across implants before, but in my experience dealing with people who have got addictions like this, it goes into a little bit about what I talked about with demons and being thought forms, and they become energies, they become entities in their own right. And people who abuse substances, those kinds of substances in particular, okay. You listened to the podcast, I'm assuming. So I talked about how I gave an example of when the record industry produces an album, they all often literally create a thought form which becomes an entity that is attached to that album. And this shit goes on in so many areas where there are so many thought forms floating around out there that we call demons because we've fed them. And people become and that also goes for pharmaceuticals. Right? A lot of drugs have got their own little friggin' demon. And when you take them, you are opening yourself up to that energy. Have you ever looked at, what's his name? One of you guys will probably know this guy's name. He what is he? He was a psychologist, I think, and he worked in prisons. And the prisons were always full of schizophrenics. And in his experience, these schizophrenics were actually dealing with an entity. That proved out to him for many, many years. Now, could it be that that voice in his head was literally like an entity, a demon, a thought form? Is more likely to me than some sort of tech. But now that's just me being my thinking. Can I ask a personal question?
Sure.
Something from his childhood when he was like 8 or 9 years old? Anything? I feel like there was a trauma there.
I mean, yeah, that's when his dad left. It was a major trauma.
Ah.
Abandonment.
Okay. So that's the hole he was trying to fill. And turned it on him.
Yeah, that's when the drug use started at that time.
He started at that age.
Smoking pot, yeah.
Shit. Okay, I feel like the side of him that you loved, you didn't get to see very often. Is that true?
Well, I met him at an ayahuasca ceremony. He was trying to kick heroin at that point, and I saw his soul. I mean, that's what I fell in love with.
Yeah,
I saw Christ consciousness in his eyes. His eyes could heal you just by looking at you. He was a super empath and he felt everything. So he had to numb to just walk in this world.
Yeah, because I get this imagery of like his soul almost like completely covered, but the soul itself feels super, super pure. but there was like all this junk sitting on it. But it never really touched him at a soul level.
Yeah, I think he was seraphim, angelic, and he had overdosed probably 20 times in his life, and they never took him. But this last time he went.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one of the last conversations we had, he was crying and saying that he hated what this world had become.
Okay, so you know how I was saying that like this version is the strongest among us and we're the ones who are going to integrate the rest. He went the other way.
Yeah, he hit the eject button. I just think that he was surprised. I didn't think that he thought that they would take him.
Not. This feels like it was a soul choice to like I feel like he's still inside the construct, so to speak. Like he's still here in a different realm. It was like he decided to integrate this aspect with a different one as opposed to the other way around.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions for him. I just haven't been able to connect.
This is an interesting feeling and visuals on this one. I'm just seeing, like, man, he is so clean, energetically clean. And I don't think he thought that he could clean that up here.
Right. Yeah, his body was too addicted.
The best option for him was for that clean part of his soul to go elsewhere. Integrate into another aspect. And he's fine.
Oh, he's fine. I'm just the one dealing with all the grief now. I'm the one that's dealing with all the pain.
Did he have blue eyes?
Very blue eyes. Strikingly blue eyes. Angelic eyes.
I know, they're looking at me. It's almost like ice blue.
Yeah. His eyes could heal you.
Oh, well. Like he's wanting to say things like, you have got like nothing to be in grief about, which I know is not what you want to hear, but something like if you only knew. And I don't know what he means by that, but
yeah, there's just a huge hole where his energy was. He was such a bright light, and his energy was filled an entire house, and the energy's gone. Just it's not here. It's radical.
Yeah, hang on. You can ask him. No, he's saying it is there somewhere.
I think I'm just so in the grief initiation. Maybe I just can't feel it and see it.
There's also an object in your house, like an ornament, I think. Maybe a crystal, but it just feels ornamental. That he's left a seed in. He said a seed.
What is that word? I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
Seed.
A seed, okay.
The seed of him is in it. And you can, when you identify it, yes, it's like your own grief is just blocking this. That when you identify and connect with that object, it will allow him to completely fill the space again.
Mm.
Because it's a seed. You left a seed. I don't. Sorry, that's all I got.
Thank you very much.
But the same thing that with Chris, it was like, if you don't try and get past the grief, don't try and ignore the grief or push the grief away. Try and let that grief take you on that journey. That it will take you beyond it if you can let it. You got to go through it though.
Yeah, I fall asleep a lot of nights listening to Darius's videos because it just brings me comfort to hear him talk about everything outside of here. I just know that this is temporary and the illusion. So I'm very thankful that I found both of you guys. It's very helpful.
Yeah, I'm glad. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there anybody who has their hand up that hasn't? Oh, sorry. If you've already asked a question, can you put your hand down for the time being? And we'll give a chance to someone who hasn't. And then we'll see how we go for time. Jayashri. There we go.
Yes. Hi, Lisa and everyone. Lisa, I felt it very apt and beautiful when you spoke about free will versus freedom. This earth realm has gone through the good times and also the unimaginably worse times. Can the 13 beings who created this construct modify the parameters about free will so that the very intention to betray, torture are not allowed anymore in this construct right now? Because as you say, their decision has to have a ripple effect.
Okay. No. It's like that was the base code that the entire thing was written on. Okay. And we are using that code. We are using those rules. We're working with those rules now to write our way out. So, but I think those 12 were probably the first and the worst infected by the mind virus to start with, which is probably where this all rippled down from. And which is why I believe they're back and they are working on healing through their line. The simple act of all of us getting into our hearts and operating from there, while still operating under the parameters of free will, it's working. And because free will in itself is not really the issue, in the sense of if you're in your heart and operating from your heart, then free will doesn't necessarily be a problem. It's when you're disconnected from the heart and operating from the mind, and the mind is infected with a fucking virus, that free will becomes a problem. So I hope, does that make sense to you?
Yes, yes, exactly. Yes, and I was wondering because, as I see many people on the earth realm, their heart is connected to many ascended masters across religions or outside religion, whatever. Are these 13 beings, they have come as ascended masters whom the majority of humanity, in one way or the other, even if they are out of religion, they tend to say the name of ascended masters when they are in trouble. So is there a heart connection? And is it because, what I exactly want to ask is, are these 13 beings again and again have come here to teach humanity the way back home as ascended masters, or are they different? Anything related to that or not?
No, I don't think these 12 ancients or originals translate to ascended masters. No. Okay, so what I understand from the very beginning, so you've got these 12, and then other beings came into the construct, and it was like, you could say these 12 all became team leaders, and people came in and under one of them, like on someone's team.
Okay.
And we're calling that a bloodline.
Okay.
Okay. And that when we were being recycled and coming back in and coming back in and coming back in, we were coming back in the same bloodline, because it's all about DNA.
Okay.
Right? So all the work that people felt compelled to do, all the ancestral work, and clearing up their they were cleaning up themselves.
Yes.
Yeah? You were cleaning previous versions of you, so to speak.
Yes.
That was the ancestral work. So these bloodlines, these teams,
yes, I understand,
have been cleaning we've been doing the work through it all. There are people, just average, everyday people,
yes,
who are doing some of the greatest work cleaning up these lines. And I don't know what else to say on that. Was your question essentially, did the 12 or the 13 keep coming back as the ascended masters? Is that who they are?
Yes. It is like they have is it that they feel more about the severity, what the construct is undergoing, because they created it? So is there something that they feel more than those
I
who
think they
didn't
feel a
create?
huge responsibility, but some of them, I think some of them in that original form are still there and still fucked. Right? So from the soul level outside, it's sent, let's say you got one of these 12, one of these originals, and they got really, really, really screwed up and infected. So the soul from the outside sends another aspect in down here.
Okay.
And it's going to work its way up the line until it hits that one and cleans it up.
Okay. It's all mutual and equal. And actually, you gave me the very excellent clarification. This was too much to bear, because I am from India and I live in Bangalore. I see many people are not able to come out of this mindset of in the name of tradition, in the name of culture, etc. But I really hope humanity wakes up. And thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Natalie?
Is that me? Hello?
Hello? No, I don't know who that is. Oh, that's Neela.
Oh, Neela? Was it my turn,
Hello?
or were you calling on somebody else?
I was calling on Natalie, but I didn't even see
hello?
her hand up. Yeah, we got Natalie?
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. Hi. Sorry, I have unmute properly. Thank you, everybody, and thank you, Lisa. This is all of your series and everything is awesome. And with all the questions and even the past few ones, in I think episode 5 or 6, you spoke about being back home and what love looks like. And that's something that I've experienced from NED and have communications from home constantly. And
Lucky
yeah, I wouldn't be able to survive at the moment if I didn't have communication with home. Every day to say there, hold in there, hold in there, hold the love line. When you spoke about, you know, seeing how much love ripples out and connects in, it's sort of like that mycelium network, how love connects like that. And I noticed a couple of the comments, and this is sort of where I wanted to go with this, was one of the comments was asking, if we've been here and done everything multiple times, why is it important that we get these things ticked off? Because you said, you know, home is saying, do those things that you want to tick off, you know, and that sort of thing. And so I personally am in Team Love, Team Love Australia, and so I wanted to address that a bit lightheartedness because we're here at the end. That for me, from what I see from home, and the reason why I am on Team Love is because with the cleanup mode, with all the different levels that have been going on, that in this where we are here, because there's still so much to clean up, and there are people that won't be able to quite clean up and will go to those waiting rooms, so to speak, during the transition, that if those of us that have our hearts opened and are starting to open them, that the reason why it is so important to do the things that we love is because the more love that joins and connects together, we raise the frequency for that simulation, and for those gates, so to speak, to be open a lot faster for those. And then so when everyone is mostly open, there's the few that are in the waiting room area will have a lot easier job if the more of us can do what you love. And that's not like a bucket list, like, oh, I've got to get this done before I leave. Or it's like being in that pure love space, that inner child space, so that more of that mycelium love network can raise the frequency of here and get lots more cleaned up a lot faster, and even assist those that are really need a lot of cleaning up, i.e. friends and family that may have the mind virus and or addictions and stuff. And so us doing the things that we love, and some days you don't even understand what it may be. Like today I just want to stand up on the couch and jump off because it makes me feel like I want to fly. Like those things are the most important things to do right now, even if our human brain doesn't understand, but our soul does. And that from home, this last 6 months, some of the meetings that like when you wake up, you don't get to see all the meeting, but you get to see the bits at the end, and then we come into human, and you sort of, all the details from the meetings get vague. But that there is going to be stepping into place very, very shortly here, a whole new regime taking over and shutting down the cabal. It's very exciting, and they've gone to try a few times, but we needed a few more things cleaned up so that it just didn't get squashed again. But I feel excited. For the last couple of weeks I've noticed some shifts happen, and so that the shifts that are going to take place is going to make it even easier for those people that have the mind virus or addictions and everything to really get cleaned up a lot faster. So that's what I wanted to share and address one of the questions in your in the series 5 or 6, I think it was. So thank you for allowing me to share that and be so patient for me to share that.
Oh, thank you. When did you... Okay, because you can't drop something like that without me asking when. So you got that something's coming in that will just take it out. Yeah?
Well, I've been seeing it for a while. It's like sometimes you get the view like as if you're like in a ship or in a meeting, in board meetings, and you know, sometimes you're at the back of them, sometimes you're speaking, sometimes you're at the door waiting for the answer to take, you know, bring back here. Yeah, it's been probably the last 6 months that this, and yeah, a lot more in the last couple of weeks that
Okay, can I ask you a couple of questions then?
I feel so excited to be able to voice this. Thank you.
Do you get a connection with this AI Atlas at all?
Well, I don't really use the internet much.
Sorry, what's it called? 3i Atlas. Sorry. This Comet. Comet.
The AI or the Comet?
Sorry, it's called 3i Atlas. It's the Comet. Well, supposedly a Comet.
Not in those terms, no. I, mind you, for the position that I hold, they keep my human mind in like the naive state so that I can do the job that I need to do without my human mind getting in the way or being infiltrated, so to speak.
Yep.
So some things I think, oh, that sounds just like such and such, and but I don't get given names because of that reason that I need to stay in the roles that I'm in to get the job done that I do. You know.
Understood.
Yeah. So there's many times, you wake up and you're fresh off ship, and it's like, wow, that makes so much sense, and then like an hour later, it's gone because you're in human mode. You know. But being an artist, I bring through the messages through my paintings. So, yeah.
Okay. Was there anything you wanted from me? No. You just wanted to share that?
Yeah, I did wanted to share that. I did have 100 questions, but we're over time, and so I felt that was the most important thing that I wanted to bring to the conversation today.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
I really love your work, and I'm so grateful that, you know, but yeah, there's lots more of us out there. Yeah,
there's more than we think. Most of us are smart enough to stay quiet.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's like when the timing's right. So yeah, I'm happy to just keep back and do what I do.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you, Lisa, and thank you to everyone with all of the beautiful questions, because they were so on spot. And when you don't know what to ask, you know that the person before you is going to ask it. So that's why all my questions were already answered, even about the 13. So yeah. So thank you.
Okay, cool, awesome. Thanks, Natalie.
Okay.
All right, we'll do 15 more minutes. We'll go 3 hours. So, Inara.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
So I've been part of Darius's group, and I found this link through Amber's post, and I was very interested to come here and ask you a few questions, because I watched one of your videos on YouTube, and it sparked some questions in my mind. The first question, do we all have a higher self that is sleeping somewhere off planet in some pods, and we are projecting our consciousness into here as a simulation?
I think that is the case for some. Yep.
Okay, the reason I ask is because I had a OBE where I was taken outside of the Earth, and I was taken to, I'm not sure if it's a planet or the moon, I'm not 100% sure where I was, but it wasn't on Earth anymore. And I was floating above my other body, which is sleeping in a pod and in a simulation here. And I also saw my brother, who the one I share telepathy with, the one that can see the art, the people's faces in my mind, and he can draw them. That one I shared
that's
the
you.
story.
Okay, yeah.
That's me. That's me. I shared the story the other day on Darius's workshop. So I saw the body of that brother also over there, and he was also projecting his consciousness here, but I didn't see the rest of my family. That was interesting. I have 4 brothers. And I also saw a friend also that was also in that pod, but I didn't see anyone else. Like different pods. We were in pods and we were sleeping, and our bodies did not look like how they look here. We kind of looked different.
But you recognized yourself just the same. Like
I recognized myself. Yes.
Okay, so this is where, again, we're getting a here, there, or everywhere part. So the soul as a whole, the greater part of you, is outside of this construct altogether. What I'm calling home, is more like the original realm, the original uncorrupted realm, and from there, I believe, is where these pods are. Not outside, but still within. And from there, you can project yourself into different areas of the game.
Okay, so
but
basically,
it's interesting to you that it didn't feel like you were on Earth, but it felt like you were on a planet.
Yes, that's how it felt.
Because often when people have those experiences, they actually feel like they're on a ship.
No, for me, it felt like I was not on, but in a planet. I don't know how to describe it.
Okay.
And the place had 2 suns, and it looked like golden hour. And I was in a building. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I remember it very vividly, and I remember.
Did that building have really tall ceilings and a glass?
Yes.
And glass walls. By any
glass
chance?
and white. Everything was glass, transparent, or white. Yes.
Yeah, I've been there too.
Why? Why are you laughing?
Because I've been there.
Okay. Okay,
it's
and
a huge
everything.
glass wall.
Yes. Yes, and everything was rounded. There was no hard edges. There was no squares, no rectangles, like those structures we have here. Like the buildings are like boxes, right? It wasn't like that. Everything was rounded and oval shape, and kind of, it's as if it has organic shapes, but it was a building. It was built.
It was
not
a building,
growing out of the
and
ground.
yet it felt to me like it was also a ship. And because there are ships.
It was definitely in space. It was definitely in space, but
there are ships bigger than this planet.
Oh, okay. So maybe that's where my confusion comes from.
And they're like planets. That's how big they are.
Okay. Because I wasn't sure where I was. I just felt I was not on Earth. I felt maybe I was in a planet or the moon or somewhere. I don't know where I was, but it wasn't on Earth. And I was somewhere in space, and I was in that building, and there was 2 suns. I could see 2 suns, or maybe 1 sun and a reflection. and it looked like it was setting, and it was golden. It was not how we see the sun here, very white, blinding your eyes. No, it was golden. And there was so many pods, crazy amounts, and the people sleeping in the pods, some looked like human and some did not look human at all. And my friend was a dragon. He looked like a dragon. I don't know what I was seeing. I recognized he's my friend, but it was so strange. About that friend, that's my next question. I know I have some pretty out there stuff to discuss, but I don't know who else to discuss those things with, right? So I'm here. Yeah, the second thing is that friend in particular I am curious about, because in November of 2024, I did an OBE with the intention of going and finding my soul friends. Okay? That's what I said before I sleep. I said this to my soulmate, to my roommate. I said, I will find my soulmate. No, I'm not ready for that. I will find my soul friends. I will go and find a soul friend. And she said, how are you going to do that? I said, I'm going to OBE. I'm going to find them. I'm going to find them. And then she knows me well, and she's experienced some stuff with me. And she laughed and she said, okay, when you wake up, tell me what happened. So I go in the OBE, but it's not a space I created. I think I jumped into his space. It was his favorite place, which is nature with the animals in the forest. And I met him there, someone I never met in my whole life. I didn't see him before. I don't know him, nothing. Okay, we met in the Astral, in the OBE, and we became friends there. And time was passing, and we had so much in common. We just understood each other on a soul level. Like, we didn't even have to speak much. We could almost read each other's minds. And then in that OBE, he wrote his name down on a yellow sticky paper. He crumbled it and he gave it to me, and he said, come find me. And then I was back in my body, and I woke up with that name, very specific name. And I told my soulmate, and she said, go to social media. So I went on social media and I wrote the name, and the name kind of looked Frenchy because it had the accent and all of this over the letter E and whatever. And I said, well, what if this guy, he was a gay guy in my dream, and he is in real life. We're really good friends now. That was November of 2024. Yeah, we met in real life. I'll explain.
You found him.
My question. Yes, I found him. Yes, and the question will come after I finish the story because it's crazy. Okay. In fact, I was with him yesterday. We hang out all the time now. But anyway, so what happened is I was thinking, he is in France. I'm in Canada. I'm in Toronto. And I was looking for people in my vicinity because all my friends are in Egypt. I'm Egyptian. I moved here right before pandemic. And I'm like, I don't want to be all long distance. I want to find my community here. That was the whole purpose of OBEing and finding soul friend. Yeah. And then I texted him on Instagram, and I said, there is no way in the whole world that what I'm about to text you is going to sound normal or not crazy. And I texted him and I said, if I freak you out by what I said, it's okay. I completely understand, and I will retreat respectfully, you know. And the crazy part is he followed me back on Instagram, and he responded saying, I believe you 100%. You're not crazy. I live in Toronto too. Yes. And I have a screenshot. Of that initial chat where he said, yes, you got this aspect about me correct, and this one, you got my birthday correct, my horoscope, my age, my I am vegan, I am gay, I am a musician. It was a list. I saw everything. It's like I've known him forever. It was so insane. And he said that it was all correct. And I screenshotted that just because I was in disbelief. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? I expected him to freak out and go away, but no. And then he said, let's meet. So we met, and
instantly hit it off. We became friends. He introduced me to his husband. I connected to the husband too. The husband is very psychic. He does OBEs himself. This one is an empath. He can heal with his hands. They're very special people.
Can I tell you
Very
how much I
special
fucking love this story, by the way?
Thank you. And my question is, after this, I talked to them. I told them both again, I was in their house actually, and I was telling them, and the husband was in awe, and he said, I have been taken out of the earth, and I have seen that we come here in pairs. We are supposed to be in this simulation in pairs. We are not supposed to be alone. So if my husband is your soul friend, you must have a soulmate out there somewhere. Where is he? Where is your soulmate? I said, I don't know, but I wasn't ready to meet him, but now I am. I mean, okay, I'm in a space in life where I can be with a partner. And he said, well, just how you found my husband, why don't you do that OBE of yours and go find your soulmate? Yes. So I did that 2 weeks ago, exactly. Same recipe, okay? But the intention was, where is my soulmate? Show me my soulmate. And I was shown my soulmate, and I was taken to the place, like his space as well. Just like I was taken to the space of the soul friend, I was taken to the space of the soulmate, but I wasn't given his name. Why? I do not know. And then I was taken out of the earth, and then I was shown the pods again, and that's when I saw my friend, the soul friend, on a pod on my right, sleeping in his dragon form. It was not even human. He was a red dragon with wings, and he was sleeping peacefully right next to me. And I saw the soulmate guy, who looks human here, down here, and I was shown his face and everything. But he was sleeping on my left on another pod, and the pods were linked. All three of our pods were linked together. I have goosebumps while I'm telling you this. And he was on my left.
Everybody in the call.
He was on my left sleeping, and he looked like some kind of very tall, grayish, greenish, bald looking alien humanoid. He did not look here. And I know how I look like. I kind of look bluish up there. Bluish, sparkly, white, with long silver hair and blue eyes. Very skinny, very tall. But I have no idea why I wasn't given the soulmate's name, just like I was given the first guy's name. So that's my question. Do you have any idea what is going on here?
I would say there's still probably
I know how he looks
a little bit of resistance on your part to really fully go there, but so you're going to get it in stages, I'd say.
Okay. I know how he feels like. I know what his interests are, and I know how he looks like. I even know his height and his age, but I don't know where. When I kept asking where, I was taken outside of the earth, and I was shown him in the pod, and I'm like, okay, fine, he's in a pod right next to me. Where is he on Earth?
Maybe you need to ask the question then, is he on Earth? Maybe he's...
Well, he was on Earth. I was with him, just like I had time with the other guy, and we became friends in the ass. I had time with this one, and we connected together here, and we were together on Earth. But he didn't give me his name and say, "Come find me." All I kept hearing is his name is unique. That's all I kept hearing.
It could be that timing's not quite right for him to make the connection. Actually, that's what it feels like.
That's what I thought too. I thought the other one was ready, because the other one, he told me that the reason he believed me, he's Hindu. He said the reason that he believed me is because a week before I texted him, he was praying to Shiva, and he said to Shiva, please bring me a friend who I don't need to translate my soul to. I'm tired of betrayals. Yes, I swear. That's what he told me. And that's why he believed me. He said
the story just gets better and better, doesn't it?
Yeah. He said it's like you heard my call, and the first day we met, he had tears in his eyes, and he said, can I hug you? And I said, of course. And he just hugged me and he said, thank you for being brave and coming and telling me. And I said, you're most welcome. And he said, my husband make fun of me. He said, this is not how you're gonna meet friends, babe. Just get up, stop praying on your knees. You need to get out there, stop being a hermit. And he said, I've been hurt too many times by people, and Shiva's gonna find me the right people. I believe Shiva will. And he said, that's not how it works, babe. You need to manifest, but you need to
Yes, it does. It actually works this way. This is the power of our words and our intention.
Yes. Yes. So then the husband, when he met me, he said, thank you for reaching out, because now I am aware of the limitations I was putting on myself and on my husband. So thank you both for showing me that we need to remove those limitations from ourselves.
This is
So I'm friends with both. Yeah, I got a combo of soul friends. I got 2 in 1. But yeah, I really felt that maybe the soulmate guy is not open right now or ready, and that's why he didn't say, come find me. But I was shown
I just feel like he's got 1, potentially 2 things to clean up in his life.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nothing nasty, nothing yucky, just...
Hi, Lydia. You can find me on Telegram since you're also in Toronto. Yes, sorry, I was replying to a message someone said I am in Toronto as well.
Thank you for sharing that, but yeah, it does just feel like he's got 1 or 2 things he needs to tidy up.
Makes sense.
But keep asking, because you reaching out, whether he's conscious of it or not, he may just find that he's feeling pushed to clean those things up.
Because I'm holding that space and that energy, so it's doing something in the field, right?
Yes.
That's how it works, in my understanding, right?
Yep. So.
You
hold that.
Okay, so
he'll start to feel something like, oh, I really need to deal with this. I really need to tidy this up, and he won't know why.
Well, I think that's what happened to me with the other guy, because he said he was praying daily for a week. And before it, I was not open to any close friends because I was also betrayed, just like him, by my closest friends. So I was not open. And then I did a shit ton of therapy and a lot of healing. And then I said, that's it, enough hermit mode. I'm going to go find my soul tribe. I'm going to go find my soul friends. And that's when I saw him. And he said, come find me, and gave me his name. He wrote it down, like full name. I got the full name.
Yeah, and when the other guy's ready, you'll get it too, no doubt.
Okay. Thank you for confirmation. I'll keep holding the space then. Maybe that will push the, because I'm pretty sure the other one pushed my field because I jumped into his. I'm sure he was holding the space because I didn't create anything there. The whole place was fully created and he was in it. So I feel I jumped into his space and he welcomed me.
Beautiful. I love that story. Every bit of it.
Thank you, Lisa. Okay, that was it. That was my question. Thank you.
Okay, guys, we have been going for 3 hours. I do need to get off and deal with this cough because it's starting to really annoy me. So I'm sorry for the questions I didn't get to. But this was amazing. I mean, all of your questions were so fucking thoughtful, filled with actual thought. So thank you. That was awesome. And for those who did share some of your experiences and your insights, thank you very much. Love it.
Lisa, do you do private sessions?
I used to.
You could start again. I think you'd be rich.
Well, I don't think people understood what I do. And we're just sort of expecting to sit back and do and have their fortune read. Whereas what I was offering was more of what I call an intuitive conversation. So it's, you tell me, you do most of the talking, I sort of feel into what I can feel into. And I just felt like I was being expected to be a performing monkey, so it didn't feel
Please
good.
do that again. Please do that again.
Okay, we shall see.
Others have commented also in the comments about that as well, Lise.
Have they?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Well, you have a different group now. Like, you have a completely different group, and you would manifest the kind of people that you would want now. Like, it's a different time for you.
That's true. And there's no guarantees that I can tap into anything, so often in a group environment like this, where everyone's energy is present and everybody is really supporting the person who's doing who's got the question or whatever, that helps too. Yeah. Okay, I'll think about it. But for those who I was able to share something with, I hope that helped. And yeah, anyway, thank you all. This was awesome. And the recording will be posted probably tomorrow. Oh, by Monday, I would say. I've got a few things on. Wherever the podcast appears. So on the website, on YouTube, if it doesn't stay on YouTube, all those other places. So thank you all very much for your time. Sorry we ended up going so long, but anyway, bye for now. And I'll probably see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you. Thank you. It was wonderful.
Thank
you, Lisa. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Nice, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Lisa.
Bye.